Is it on? Is this bish recording? Okay. Whew. Okay, so we're trying out our new microphone and our new little shindig here, y'all. And I even tried to bring my little light so that we can probably see me a little bit better in these videos because I feel like they be super dark. So, welcome back. Thank you again for joining me for our horror story animation reaction type gig going on here. First of all, I want y'all to go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and pre-like it. I'm sure you're gonna like it. It's gonna be funny and things. You're gonna watch me scream and shit. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment. Tell me what your favorite story was and what you would do in these situations. Because I know I'm gonna be talking about what I'm doing. So I'd like to hear what y'all would be doing. So yeah, check out all my links in below and support your boy. So, are you ready? Because I've been seeing a lot of these YouTube channels I've subscribed to give me some good thumbnails, give me some good stories that look really interesting, so I'm ready to go. First up is 3 short scary stories. Okay, we're going to see what she get then.
This happened to me while
Why is this here? Okay, thank you.
I was on my way home one night. I was living in an apartment at the time. When I arrived on the first floor of my building, there was a piece of paper hanging on the wall that said that the elevator was out of service. No, not again, I said to myself. I lived on a pretty high floor, so without any other choice, I had to walk up the stairs. I was walking up the stairs out of sheer desperation, and all of a sudden, I heard something. Then I began to feel uneasy. I knew that crimes often occurred around my neighborhood, especially targeting people who were alone. When I listened closely,
Where's your taser? Where is your knife, your brass knuckles? Where's all that? If you know you in a bad area, you should be prepared for anything.
I could hear a pair of men's shoes and a pair of women's high heels walking at the same time. I assumed that it was a couple. You guys are having a hard time like me. I'm struggling to walk up the stairs, especially this late at night. I thought to myself. I sighed with relief and turned my head around. However, I will never forget what I saw at that moment. There was a man who was crawling with a pair of men's shoes on his feet and a pair of high heels on his hands.
What? Get your weird ass the hell away from me. What the hell?
He was crawling towards me.
What? Well, I guess when they said short, I'm gonna need y'all to go a little bit further into that. Like, did she run? Did she capture him? Did she beat him over the head? Like, what happened? Child, you better stop playing with me. Give me the full T. Hold on, wait, let me move this out. Okay, great.
This happened a few years ago in the neighborhood I grew up in. When I was around 6 years old, there was an incident where an old man who lived right in front of my house was murdered by a robber. Not only did the robber steal all his money, but he also stabbed him brutally with a knife and then ran away. According to the police, the crime scene was as horrible as it sounds, and unfortunately, to this day, the robber still hasn't been caught. When they moved the old man's dead body and passed by my house, my mom covered my eyes with her hands so that I wouldn't see it. Nevertheless, I could see my neighbor's face through the gap between my mom's fingers. After that, even after a few months had passed, the old man's house wasn't sold. It was because there were a few strange rumors spreading around the neighborhood about his house. Some said that people would always hear the old man's coughing and sobbing coming from inside whenever it rained. 10 years later, all of the people who moved into his house had to leave, and now his house is being used as a warehouse.
Okay.
When I was in high school, I was crazy about a boy band. and used to stay up late at night watching their videos. Because of this, I used to fall asleep at around 3 or 4 a.m. The town I lived in was sort of a new city under construction, so it was really quiet and there was no one outside during that time. One night, it was around 3 a.m., I suddenly heard a woman singing outside. It was an old song, and the strange thing was that the woman was singing just one part of the song over and over again. She didn't move on to the next section.
What the?
She would just start singing, pause for a minute, and then continued singing again. Out of curiosity, I opened the window and was about to sing the next verse of the song to surprise her. However, before that, I sent a text message to my friend. "Hey, someone is singing outside and keeps repeating the same part. LOL, should I sing along with her?" Not long after, my friend responded, and then I had to shut the window quietly because I was terrified.
What? Don't do that. That's a ghost. When ghosts find someone to harm, they first sing and then wait for the person to sing along. Oh, how would they know that? How random is that?
The text said, "Don't do that. That's a ghost. When ghosts find someone to harm, they first sing and then wait for the person to sing along."
Child, I probably would have. They probably would have got my ass because I'm good to do that. Start singing a song with somebody. Well, those were very short. Meh. Eh. We'll see. I'm gonna pause it and then we're gonna move on to the next. All right, you guys. We're back with the girl, and I'm pretty sure this is all one story. So this is already like what 4 minutes 39 seconds. So this is gonna be a fully fleshed out story. So this will be good. I just hope it's good, child. I hope y'all can see me really well.
My name is Caitlin. This incident happened when I was 14 years old, and I will never forget this memory. One day, I was at home alone at my house. My mom was still at the office late at night, and my two siblings were at my grandparents' house, which was kind of far away from my home. At first, I was just enjoying my time alone, watching Netflix and doing some fun stuff. However, after a while, I got pretty bored, so I decided to invite some of my friends over. I asked my mom for permission and then called my friends to invite them over. A few moments later, while I was waiting for them, I heard a loud bang upstairs. I was sure that there was no one else upstairs. So I stood up and looked up the stairs with an anxious look on my face. When I was near the stairs, I could see that one of my dolls had fallen.
No. I I feel like I have to say this every time. If some shit like that popping off, we go into the kitchen, we getting ourselves a good old butcher knife, a good old meat cleaver, something sharp, so that if anybody is up here and they want to try me, we can do that. But we ain't about to go up here just empty-handed, girl. I'm like, girl, where's your weapon? I mean, so what if something is crazy going on upstairs? What you gonna be able to do about it? Nothing, because you ain't got no weapon.
Picked it up, and when I straightened my back, something caught my attention. A little girl was standing upstairs. Well, I could feel that she was staring at me, even though I couldn't see her face clearly due to the darkness. I was terrified, and then someone rang the doorbell. I ran to see who it was, and luckily, my friends had arrived. Thank God, it was a moment of relief that my friends came over at the right time. Soon, I got my mind off of the girl I saw. We sat down in the living room and
Wait. So you brought your friends in the house, you saw this ghostly bitch, and yet you didn't tell them about it? Like, I would have told them immediately before they even walked in the door, like, look, y'all, I need y'all to help me out, because there's some crazy little young girl that is touching my stuff that's upstairs in my house, and I need y'all to help me get rid of her. Now, granted, you probably would have scared all your friends away. But if they're your real friends, they're gonna help you out.
Had fun talking with each other. An hour later, one of my friends suggested that we should take some pictures together, so we gathered around one another. We took several selfies while laughing and chatting. Later, as we scrolled through the pictures, we found something. There was a little girl standing behind our couch. What made us even more terrified was the fact that she had no face. I mean, her face was just an empty darkness. No eyes, no nose, and no mouth. Being terrified, I told Cassie to delete that picture right away. However, she said that something was wrong with her cell phone. I snatched the phone out of her hands and tried to delete it. But no matter what we tried, we couldn't delete the picture. Then we heard loud thumps. It sounded like someone's footsteps were coming from upstairs, and our light was flickering on and off at the same time. We thought that we couldn't stay inside anymore, so we rushed outside in a hurry. One of my friends, Christina, suddenly pointed at my bedroom window and said that there was someone in there. I raised my eyes up and followed her finger, and there she was. It was the same faceless girl we had seen in the picture. My friends and I screamed. I called my mom and explained everything. My mom couldn't believe what I told her, so she made me calm down and said that she would be home in 5 minutes. After she arrived home, she searched the entire house, but she couldn't find any trace of the girl. I hoped that it was just our imaginations. However, we soon decided to move out of the house because I kept seeing the girl after that incident. We finally moved, and from then on, my mom never wanted me to be home alone, so I always stayed with my siblings. I still have no clue why the girl haunted me, but I think it was because she wanted us to get out of the house. Well, I'm just glad that I don't see that girl in my new house.
Bitch. Ooh, girl. Yo, you can keep that. You can keep that old ghostly-ish. All right. So I found this new channel that does animated horror stories called Dr. Sleep. Based off the thumbnails, they look really, really interesting. So we're gonna give them a shot. Let's see what they got going on. This is gonna be 3 dark web horror stories. So let's see what she given.
I've always had a morbid sense of curiosity, and while that's not a fact I'm particularly proud of, I've always just jotted it down to teenage curiosity. To be honest, it probably started back in middle school when people thought it was fun to send around horrible videos of executions and bizarre porn fetishes to each other on the MSN messaging site. Just mentioning it makes me feel old.
Ooh, MSN, yeah, you old-ish. Y'all don't know nothing about that MSN Yahoo Messenger.
These days, there's an overabundance of these sites. Places to watch people die, blurry videos of car crashes, beheadings, and animal abuse. Of course, it's not something I actively seek out, but when I stumble across it, I feel compelled to just watch, to prove to myself that nothing can affect me. Though, for the truly gruesome stuff, one needs to visit the so-called dark web. As a guy who has fallen far behind in the advancement of technology, it absolutely baffled my mind that only a tiny fragment of the internet is available through a Google search. The rest, which makes up approximately 99.9%, is hidden and requires a special browser for access. With the help of a handy-dandy YouTube tutorial, I quickly downloaded the Tor browser and went on my way to search for the hidden aspects of the internet, as one naturally does.
One naturally, who? Child, don't nobody naturally want to go to the goddamn dark web and watch people get murdered, decapitated, and dogs and animals beaten and abused. Like, who does that? One, as one does. Girl, you want to know who don't do that?
It couldn't have taken more than half an hour of clicking on shared onion links before I stumbled across something that quenched my thirst for the obscene forever. The website itself was rather plain. just a black background with a video player in its center and a chat box beneath. Within a few seconds of entering the website, the video itself had loaded and automatically started playing. What was depicted before me was a scrawny-looking man in his early 20s, strapped to a chair and covered in wounds. In the upper left corner of the video, a timer ran, counting up each second. 24 minutes and 14 seconds. "Please stop, please. It was an accident, I swear," he yelled. A larger man entered the picture, a large needle in his hand connected to an empty syringe. Without speaking a word, he stuck the needle as far as it could go, into the victim's abdomen. He let out a loud scream as the man removed the needle and plunged it back in. After a few stabs, the man grabbed a hammer and hit the victim straight in his jaw, shattering his mandible, leaving him unable to form any coherent speech. He let out a gargled whimper before passing out. I tried to forward the video, sure it had to be fake. But that's when I realized that it wasn't pre-recorded footage, but a live stream. 26 minutes and 12 seconds were the words that lit up the screen. The chat beneath the video went wild, calling out the victim as a pathetic excuse of a human being, demanding the man to continue the torture. A few seconds passed, and the chat was replaced by a voting form containing only 2 options.
Oh, bitch, no. No, ma'am. So this is like literally a stream. Like if this was on Instagram Live, think about it. You over there torturing somebody, and you gonna put a poll. Like this is like it's a Twitch stream or something. You gonna put a poll and be like, life or death. Should this man die or live? Even though you've already stabbed him with some unknown substance and broke the man's jaw. So it's like what kind of way of life is he gonna have now? Like, child, is this what people are into? Is this what the world is into now? Because I've got far detached from the rest of y'all. This is what y'all doing now.
Life or death? The votes were quickly counting, the bar for death rising rapidly. As much as I could stomach, I wouldn't be part of an active murder, so I quickly voted for life. In the end, the results were displayed on the screen. Out of 200 people, the results were 95% for death, 4% for life, 1% did not vote. 10 people had tried to save the poor kid, but it wasn't enough. Without further warning, the man grabbed the hammer and started repeatedly hitting him, starting from the legs and working his way up until all that remained was a bloody pile of broken flesh. I sat speechless, staring helplessly at the screen as I noticed that my camera light had lit up.
What?
The video player vanished, and in its place, 10 smaller boxes popped up, all displaying people from various places around the world, all being unknowingly filmed.
Oh, hell no. See, don't be going on these goddamn dark web websites, bitch. As soon as, no, you block that. No, you don't see me. Shit, now I'm starting to get paranoid about this damn webcam. I don't mess with this.
By their own webcams. To my absolute horror, one of the boxes showed my bedroom and myself wearing a terrified expression. It quickly dawned on me that these were the people who voted to save the poor kid. "Who will be next?" a message said as a timer counted down towards 0. A few boxes turned black, to which the chat responded with laughter, a hopeless attempt at escape. 3, 2, 1. 9 of the 10 pictures disappeared from the screen, including my own, leaving the screen occupied by a middle-aged Asian man frozen in fear. "We'll see you soon. Good luck." I let out a sigh of both relief and panic. I'd escaped unharmed, but not everyone was that lucky.
Why are you still logged onto the site?
Of course, I called the police, but by the time they could even look into it, the link had long since expired. I don't know what else I could have done, but it taught me not to look too deep into the depths of the dark web. I'm lucky to still be alive, and it's safe to say that I've stuck to YouTube videos and Reddit ever since.
Child, y'all gonna learn to start minding your own business. Because these people will get you, child. Let me go ahead and pause this, let this ad play, and then I'll be back. Okay, so we're back with story number 2, and I'm gonna let this story go, and then we'll do the one after that, and then that'll be the end of this particular episode. So let's see how this goes.
When I say drugs are fantastic, I'm not talking about the designer substances you find in a dark alley.
What?
No, I mean the fantastic medications invented to cure anything from infections to psychological problems. The only problem is the excessive restriction on legal drugs. The amount of research, work, and potential that gets lost with each denial from the FDA. Just because something doesn't work exactly as intended doesn't mean it's useless. I say this as a person who's always had trouble sleeping. Not in the sense that I can't fall asleep, but rather that I need a whole 11 hours just to feel barely rested. A fact that absolutely does not fly in my line of work. After trying conventional drugs that were aimed at people with narcolepsy, none proved to be an adequate solution. I had no choice but to turn to the illegal side of things. Think about all the drugs that never reach the shelves at your local pharmacy
For good reason, you stupid.
due to failing to get FDA approval. It's not like their recipes and research just get thrown out.
Like, why don't you think they get approved? People just think like, oh, these drugs are perfectly fine. They didn't get, banned for no good reason. Like, come on now.
No, there's a whole market for them buried in the depths of the dark web, available to anyone who knows where to look. Of course, it has its risks, and it isn't something I'd recommend for your average Joe. I, however, was desperate. Months passed, and I tried numerous different substances, some which helped a little, while others just made it worse. In the end, I landed on a product simply called Nox. Using a P.O. box, the medication arrived within a week. To my surprise, rather than finding a bottle filled with colorful pills, I had just received the one, wrapped in a high-quality, expensive-looking package. Based on the forum I found it on, no one had experienced any adverse effects, so I stupidly ingested it with little hesitation, impatiently awaiting its results.
Child.
On any given day, I'd be tired around 11, but with the pill making its way through my digestive tract, I realized that midnight had come and gone, leaving me wide awake. Morning came, and yet I didn't need any sleep. It was great. I got all my work done at a record pace and still had plenty of leftover leisure time. It caused some jealousy at the office, but considering my competitive nature, it didn't bother me in the slightest. Days turned to weeks.
See, this man about to die. I think you can only go, 9 days? Either 9 or 10 days without sleep before you die. Because your brain needs that rest period in order to properly function. That's why sleep is so important. And this man just working around the clock. I mean, it's nice. It's convenient not to have to sleep or feel tired. Because, baby, I would get so much stuff done too. But it's just a part that keeps us alive. So I don't see how this can possibly end well.
Then weeks turned to months, and I had successfully eluded the need to sleep. By all logical aspects of biology, my brain should have deteriorated, driving me to the brink of madness.
Yeah.
But even a year after ingesting the pill, I remained sharp as ever. The only thing I noticed was my skin seeming thinner, paler, as if I had fallen slightly ill. I initially felt suspicious of the pill, but my tired-looking facade could just as easily be explained by the excessive amount of work. It wasn't as if I could stop taking the pills anyway, seeing as I'd only taken the one.
You think it's just you getting exhausted from work even though you haven't slept in what you said, like a fucking year? Girl.
That's when I noticed the first sore. It looked like an ulcer, a bed sore, but it was situated on my stomach just below the navel. It didn't hurt or anything, so I just put some cream on and waited, but it kept growing.
Oops.
During the next week, patches of skin started falling off, revealing the fat and muscle beneath. It
What?
didn't particularly hurt, but it was growing day by day and it horrified me. I quickly tried to find the site I'd purchased it from, but In the ocean of hidden onions that is the dark web, it had simply vanished, and the link had expired.
Of course it did.
As far as I could tell, no one, not even the FDA, had ever heard about a pill called Nox. Over the next few weeks, my physical
And your dumb ass just took it. Like, I mean, if you do dumb shit like this, if you take drugs that alter your body and it's not FDA approved, then I don't know what you expect.
state deteriorated, and the doctors were baffled. Yet I remained completely lucid. Even sedation for procedures had no effect on me. Eventually, after months of my skin melting off, my heart nearly stopped. Yet I couldn't fall unconscious. As I type this, my body is rotting away, and I'm gradually losing function of my arms and legs, and my vision is fading. The only thing remaining is my mind, as wide awake as ever. Once I'm done here, I'm putting a bullet in my brain. But I'm worried that even then, I'll have some sliver of consciousness to keep me awake as they put me in the ground, where I'll lay in darkness forever.
Ooh, that was dark. that was interesting. That was a different take. It wasn't necessarily like no jump scare or anything like that. It was just this is some scary shit that could happen to you in real life. Minus some, it might be a little embellished a little bit, but don't be taking no drugs, y'all. Don't be, especially illegal FDA, non-FDA approved drugs, child, that you find on a dark web website where you can't even like find any real information about it. Girl, no. Don't do that dumb shit. Please don't. So we're going to do this final story for this video, and then we're going to call it a wrap. I'm actually going to record 2, maybe 3 of these at a time, so I can have them scheduled to upload, since I hadn't done one of these in a minute. So let's go ahead and get to the last one, child.
Ever opened a door you wished you'd left alone? I was ego surfing, Googling my name to see which parts of my life had somehow leaked onto the web. Usually, it's a letdown. That's been my experience in the past. You suddenly see the world through a different lens, one in which you're not much of a star. You're a supporting character at best, and the leading man has your name but a much better life. This time, I clicked on a story that was clearly about me. It was the time I had won first place in the Outer Banks Big Mouth Bass Tournament. I'd landed a 13-pound whopper and gotten my photo snapped at the end of the pier. There I was, happy as a soused clam, holding my prize fish like a conquering hero. But the photo had a strange tag, See Odds. Curious, I clicked on it. The link sent me to a betting website called diabolicalpropositionbets.onion, where the participants for the fishing tournament were listed, along with their odds of winning. I had been the longest shot, 200 to 1. I got shivers. Who would have made a proposition bet about me?
What?
The website included a historical index of proposition bets for many other events that rang very personal. Graduating from Wakefield High School, promotion to regional manager at Gala Sporting Goods, marriage to high school sweetheart, purchaser of new home in Willow Springs, new father of twin girls, purchaser of lavish fishing boat. In every proposition bet, I had been the longest shot. I ran a sweaty hand across my comb-over and poured another Long Island iced tea.
What? Not a Long Island iced tea. So, wait, hold on. I don't know if I'm fully understanding. Y'all can explain this to me in the comments. What are they betting on exactly? Are they betting that these things will happen? Are these things about his life that he's just posted on the internet? I'm not 100% sure what the hell they're talking about. What is he seeing?
Then I resumed clicking through more bets based on my life's past events. Not an adulterer with a teenage cashier, not experiencing male pattern baldness by age 30, not suffering erectile dysfunction by age 31, not divorced from high school sweetheart by age 32, not losing job by age 33, not losing custody of twin girls by age 33, not bankrupt by age 34, not an alcoholic by age 35. I pushed away from the computer. The worst parts of my life had been turned into online wagers, and the bets had all been worded in such a way that I was the longest odds every time, so that somebody could profit off my series of failures and miseries. This had to be a sick joke. Somebody had put together one very elaborate prank. However, there were so many details being posted that no single person in my life could possibly have known them all. For instance, Minnie, the cashier with whom I had had an extramarital fling, was the only one who knew about the affair. Nobody knew about this affair except my ex-wife. I suspected that Minnie and my ex-wife might have teamed up to put this whole shenanigan together.
Wait, so you had a wife and then you fucked a teenage cashier? Ooh. And you think they're gonna team up to? So you ain't even shit. I don't know if I feel bad for you now.
But even they didn't know about my recent alcoholic consumption of Long Island iced teas. I rolled my chair back to the computer and drained my glass. There were upcoming wagers listed. My eyes zeroed in on one in particular. Dead by age 36. Bells went off. Literally, bells were ringing on my computer. Somebody was trying to Skype me.
Now watch his dumb ass answer the Skype call from an unknown person on the goddamn dark web, where somebody just told him he was gonna be dead by 36. Watch him do it. Watch him do it.
I didn't recognize the incoming number. I hovered my finger over the mouse. Could this be the person who'd been wagering and profiting on every one of my life's major events? Had they discovered that I'd blundered upon their vast online gambling conspiracy? And if that's indeed who was calling me, did I really want to know who it was? Damn right, I wanted to know who it was. I accepted the call.
Stupid.
The face on the screen hit me like a Sidewinder missile. My father. Hey there, Sonny Boy.
What?
Sonny Boy was his nickname for me. Dad, this is a bad time. I'm in the middle of something. It's okay. You're not a dark horse anymore, Sonny Boy. Dark horse? What's that mean? It means the dark web has all sorts of interesting little corners. Corners where somebody can place a prop bet on anything under the sun. He gave me a fatherly wink. You've helped me build a splendid nest egg over the years, Sonny Boy. My mouth was hanging open so big I looked like the prize bass mounted on my wall. Now listen to me, Sonny Boy. You've got to hang in there a while longer, understand? Hang in where, Dad? Hang in life. Right now, the betting odds have you as the favorite to die by suicide. Your life has been trending down, and you're basically even odds to off yourself. Tears were running down my cheeks as I stared into my father's face. Hang in there for another couple years. Life will rebound, you'll see. And just when things are looking up and you're the dark horse again, then we'll make a killing.
What? Wait, hold on. So you mean to tell me that my daddy this whole time was making bets and money off my ass? What the fuck? Child, this is a different type of shit. Like these were dark, scary stories, but not for the reason that the other scary stories were scary. This was some just disturbing shit. Ooh. I feel uneasy. I see why I can't do these as often as as I think I can, because mentally this should be. Ooh, child. But anyway, that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting and watching. I'm actually going to record another one right after this one, so we're going to have another one that won't be so far apart from the last one. So, again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description box below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.